This is a Fly podcast with me, Jane Birkin.
Thank you, Jane. You'll be performing tracks from your new album, Enfant d'hiver, at the Barbican soon and all over Europe. What inspired you to start writing your own songs?
I suppose because I was very, very spoilt by the fact that Beth Gibbons and Magic Numbers and Rufus Wainwright, Divine Comedy, wrote for me the last album, which was Fictions. And then the one before, there were all the best French ones, Souchon, Dao, everyone wrote for me. As they were all little mini portraits, really, what they'd written. I suddenly thought, well, I wouldn't mind writing something about what I really feel. And so, as a lot of it was about childhood, missing childhood, just remembering quite specifically how lovely it was to be off on the bikes, to be down to the beach in the Isle of Wight, that no grown-ups bugged you, that you were free. That particularly savage bit of the Isle of Wight was our favourite, and I wore Andrew's clothes, used his bike, and tried to look like a boy. I've tried to recreate it for my children by buying houses in Normandy at Brest, by sort of finding other beaches, other bunkers, other places where they can stray and watch them. And a bit like Alice, I'm too big to go through the door, but I can see them playing, and it's nearly as nice again. So one has that. But perhaps it was a sort of, one didn't have to feel responsible. There wasn't the great responsibility that is ladled onto you as from 14, 15, 16. One was free of it in some way. We were egoistical children. Didn't have to have a bad conscience about things, or we had parents who seemed to be pretty divine. So yes, the adventures we had, and a lot of them were filmed, because my mother filmed my brother, sister and me doing a pirate film. My father played the pirate. They were just the best things. And suddenly at 17, I've seen pictures of myself at 17, 18, sort of a dolly bird with too much eye makeup on, and I don't know, even in the slogan with Serge, it seems to me that I just turned into a sort of a model, a sort of picture person, and with dyed blonde hair and not particularly interesting. And perhaps I started to dare be me when I did Serge's film Je t'aime moi non plus, maybe a bit. I never lost the terrible accent in French, which meant that one was difficult to be put into very extraordinary films. When I was young, I did a lot of funny comedy things, and that was nice. And then things got more interesting when I was about 35, and then definitely interesting doing Jacques Rivette's films, and then Agnès Varda's films, Jacques Doyon's films, which suddenly made me a dramatic actress. And then I went into the theatre, and things got sort of more interesting. So in this record, was about being a child and missing that, and then suddenly finding yourself sitting on a bench and someone saying, Madame, this is the... And you don't correspond to that, not in your head you don't. You're still an adolescent on your brother's bike. You're a very old adolescent, but you haven't come into the category of female. It's very strange.
Tu m'as dit, Madame, ça m'a fondu l'âme d'un coup de pied dans mon réveil. J'avais pas compris, suis plus une fille, ni gars, sans jolie femme de compagnie, compagnon d'un parti pris, pas à vendre, ni acheter, pas de prix, tant pis.
And yet you're a mother, and that anything should happen to the children, and that you haven't said that I love you in time. And I don't think I said it enough. I don't think I opened doors. I don't think that I pushed in. I wasn't at all obtrusive as a mother. And I think perhaps there are times when people shut the door, but they're longing for you to open them, or make rules. I didn't make rules. I let everybody do exactly what they wanted, because I thought that was paradise. It's not really. They didn't know where the rules were, where the doors were. They didn't. So one makes these mistakes. But when you're much older, like I am now, then you just fear for them. And so maybe the record's a bit about that. I wanted to pop a ghost in. It's on the last track of this. I'm on the edge of your window. That was Serge for Charlotte.
Je suis au bord de ta fenêtre. Laisse-moi entrer. En toquant la nuit dernière, je t'ai effrayé. Mais c'est moi qui avais peur. Tu dormais chambre assombrie. C'était mon heure. Perché dans le vide, je voulais juste te voir.
Prends cette main was put on as number 1. For me, it was the most dangerous thing to say, because it was take this hand that's been much used, take these arms that have enfolded unknown people, take this body who's had babies. Will you dare say that you'll be my last love? But it doesn't really matter if it's not true. I want to stand in front of you naked. That took some saying.
Cette main qui a beaucoup servi, fait un pansement autour.
Anyhow, Période Bleue. That's about the second track, and it's about selective memory. That you think that someone's been rotten to you and that you can't remember much. Then, blow me, you come across Polaroids of spectacular beauty with the person wearing a Panama hat, and you were in on the Bay La Longue, and you were having great fun in Vietnam, and even in Brittany, where you were now writing in tears. Yes, you'd had fun. Admit it. Période Bleue was about that, memories. And today, today because there's a blue sky, I think of you in your boat, and today because it's not raining anymore, I regret your absence, and I feel lost. And my memory fait le tri is says this one's good, this one's bad, this one's good, this one's bad, and I'm trying to put as much blue in there as there was grey.
Je cherche les images roses. Suppose que je me sois trompée. Je trouve un peu largué, toi en Panama, la baie la longue, et moi, ma robe en soie, la trolle avec ses larges oreilles, gentille comme ça me plaît. Et parce que je partais la nuit comme allumeuse de jonque, tu m'as pris sur la banquette, pleurant, sac et sanglant.
Oh, comment ça va? That's a bit stupid. Just saying, oh, are you still with that same girl that you pinched that night? Ah, you had a baby. Oh, that's nice. You've had a prize. Oh, wow. I am impressed. But in my head, I'm screaming. I hope you trip over. I hope you stamp on a spider. I hope you vomit in the mirror. A charming, charming track, that one.
Tu as eu un enfant. Oh, ça doit être marrant. Et le boulot, ça roule. Tu as même eu un prix. Oh là, ça m'épate. Comme je suis ravie, mais dans ma tête, je crie. Dans ma tête, je crie. T'as bien ruiné ma vie.
Aung San Suu Kyi is about the Burmese lady of Rangoon. She won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1991. She's been under house arrest ever since, or prison. And one day she'll die. and we've done nothing to save her. And in the case of the French, I try and prick them a little, because Total gives the junte militaire more than $1 million a day. And so it's effectively kept up the military junte for 20 years. And of course they can say, and they do say, but if we move out, then stinkers will move in. The Chinese, the Russians will come in. They'll have no scruples. They won't build orphanages. They won't do this. Yes, that's a point of view. It's not mine, and it's not Aung San Suu Kyi's.
Aung San Suu Kyi will be gone, and she'll be on a t-shirt. The marketing's good. Monks are dying, soldier children crying. We're playing bubbles with 4-year-old girls. Torture, drug deals, finance our dreams. Why should we care? The stock market's good.
Enfants d'hiver is the one we talked so much about. Winter children, so it's Andrew and Linda and me on my bike, coming too close to the camera, like a film in Super 8.
Grete, il y a un pays invérifiable, inaccessible comme les morts. J'ai passé ma vie à le rechercher.
Thank you for listening to me, Damien Rafferty, editor of flyglobalmusic.com, and my guest, Jane Birkin. Visit us anytime at flyglobalmusic.com. Thank you and goodbye.